I don't like to drift off, where I drift off and I'm like, catch myself 3 weeks later, like, oh shoot, like I drifted off what I was up to before. I like to recommit every single day.
Because I can't let people down. I gotta get my kid to this thing. I gotta do this thing. Like, as we were preparing for this, like just with the team here, we were talking about how we will like do anything to avoid letting somebody down.
It takes effort, it takes mental focus to do it, and it also takes catching yourself when you drift.
You might need more help, you might need more time, you will get it done. There's no good that comes from beating yourself up.
Hi, I'm Dave Conway, and I'm here with my wife, Jacqueline. Welcome to the 30-Day Year. On this podcast, we're sharing stories, ideas, and philosophies to show you what it takes to turn your annual income into your monthly income. I've learned that the first step to creating a 30-day year is entertaining new ideas that might at first appear strange or even laughable. But stick with us as we reveal that this idea is a very real way to build success. Our plan is to spark curiosity into what you're capable of achieving by exploring ideas around freedom, contribution, work, life, everything. The content may even disturb your perception of life a bit too, which we hope it does. This podcast is not about us, it's all about you. So sit back, relax, and come in with an open mind. Welcome to the 30-Day Year.
I feel like this is going to be the most official conversation you and I have ever had in our home because we've moved our set. So we're now in our home recording the podcast and we're almost a year into the 30-day year. Can you believe that? That's pretty exciting. And it's been such a fun journey. I love creating this with you. I actually really like talking to you.
Do you, Jack?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I like talking to you too.
I think you're a good conversationalist. You always have been. So it kind of makes sense that our marriage has evolved to be now speaking to each other professionally.
It's my Irish blood.
Yes, the gift of gab, as they say, right? Mm-hmm. So this topic today is actually by request by a member of our team, Wendy, who is an incredible mindset coach with us. She messaged me and asked me, do we have anything specific around attitude? Because I think all of us can, fall into a bad attitude and need like a reset. So this is kind of like an attitude reset discussion today. And we want to chat about, what is attitude? Why is it so important? How it kind of permeates every area of life. And we're going to talk about ways to kind of realign it if it's fallen off the rails. So I'll just pass it to you, Dave. What do you have to say about attitude? Where do you start?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I know, it's tough.
Attitude is everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like narrow down what angle you could come at it from because it permeates every situation. Every result has an attitude. Every idea has an attitude.
Every circumstance and situation has the power to shift your attitude.
Yeah, for sure. And so one of the best definitions I've heard of attitude that I really like is just, it's how you feel about something. It's like as simple as that. It's like, I don't know, I feel neutral about that mug. It's nice, but it's not, it's fine. But like if I, back my car into my garage door, I feel pretty bad about that, pretty angry about that. It's like how you feel about something.
And what was your attitude before you did that?
Oh, terrible. It was terrible. It was really bad. That's, I could tell that story actually. It's actually kind of relevant here. This was, I want to say 2 years ago, I think now, about 2 years ago. It was like dance competition season, which for any dance parent out there listening, it's intense and you're trying to balance like your normal life, like your other children, your work, your home, and then your kid is like literally it's competition like from morning till night and they need you there and it's just a lot. And so this would have been like April usually is when we were at competition season and I remember having like a million things on my head that day. Like we had like, I think construction work happening in our house, which always kind of feels like is the case. We had like a major event coming up, which we pretty much always do. Abby was needing to, get ready for dance and all these things were just like running through my mind at the same time. And so I was like, Abby, get your stuff. Let's go. Like get out the door. And I was like grabbing her dance stuff and I was like on the phone and then hanging up the phone and then texting someone all at the same time, loading the car with all her stuff and like getting ready to leave. And then I had
feel
to,
like all the mothers listening can relate to this.
oh God, 100%. And then I remember sitting in the car needing to call somebody else. So I was like mid conversation, hit the garage door opener, and then the door opens. And then I must have double hit it because it stopped. And then I just like pull it into reverse and like, like my whole glass ceiling of my red Tesla just cracked. And then I was like in shock, and Abby was like, like terrified. Like Abby does not deal well. She was just like, felt like it was her fault. It's like, oh my gosh, Abby's not your fault. And so, but I was an idiot. And instead of like reversing the door up, I like drove forward.
Oh, nice.
And then it like extra cracked it, like just, you know, for good measure. And then I was just like, dear God, like, and then it was just this like sinking feeling, you know, that sickening feeling when you're like, God damn it, like that's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot of time. And then you're just like, it just sits with you for the rest of the day. And then I go get like the assessment done. And then the car people are like, oh, it'll be about $4,000. And you're like, yeah, I'm sure it would be
$4,000 attitude.
Yep. I'm sure that'll cost about $4,000. And then, but when you, reverse engineer the story, it's like, well, where did it start? Where did the $4,000 bill start from? It was really me being, well, probably just stressed, not just like taking a minute just to like focus on the main thing, like trying to juggle all these things and not just like slowing down. And so that was such a huge lesson for me afterward. It's like, okay, when it's competition season, like my daughters are only going to be young for so long. I just have to enjoy this season. And if that means that I'm a little behind on something, then so be it. Like I'll just have to call that person later. I'll just have to deal with that thing later. So it was really this like wake up call just to slow down. Like you don't have to rush so much. And unfortunately, that awareness cost me $4,000 and a lot of like sad feelings. I also had to drive around for like 6 months with a cracked like Tesla roof, which, you know, is always a good time.
Perpetual reminder.
Yes. Yeah. And I hate when my car is damaged and you have to like drive around in a damaged car. Like drives you crazy. You just feel like a scumbag. You're like, oh, I'm the worst. So anyway, that was all because of, I guess, a bad attitude. Would I say it was like a bad attitude? I would say it was actually a chaotic attitude because there was chaos in my head and therefore chaos ensued and unfolded for me. And so it's just like that, it starts within and then you see it without, right? So I was feeling it inside and then sure enough, it showed up and manifested really quickly as soon as I entered into that like chaotic state, which is an attitude. Yeah,
our attitude definitely does have a tendency to manifest in our life, no question.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No question.
Yeah, for sure. So I have some questions for you.
Okay.
About attitude. So I want to hear from you about this as it relates to a 30-day year, because after all, we're here to help people grow their income and achieve a 30-day year, which is effectively 12xing your income and your results. And I mean, this is too broad of a question, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you think is imperative and critical to understand about attitude when it comes to multiplying results, specifically in your business?
Well, I was looking at a picture of myself from about 10 years ago, and I was looking at an image of a hardworking man. Like this guy worked, no question.
Yeah.
When I was looking at his face and at his how he's portraying himself, I was like, damn, like this guy didn't stand a chance in hell of ever creating success in his life.
That sucks.
It's like it's almost as if you can't outwork a bad attitude.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I'm at the place today that I don't even think it's like necessarily straight up what you do for work. It's like, what's your mental attitude as you do it? I've personally found that has had a way bigger impact on the results that we produce.
Right.
Right. You could have a person sweep the floor in a positive mental attitude, and that person is relatively enjoyable or is enjoyable to be around. And then you have a person that's like griping and grumbling and being rammy.
Yeah.
And that person is very unpleasant to be around. So we're both doing the same thing, except one is sort of in a nice, fluid, joyful sort of energy, and the other one's in a more ram jam, like you in the car.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So as I was looking at an image of this guy, which was me,
Yeah.
I realized, I was like, man, yeah, he really didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell of ever producing what he was attempting to produce based upon his attitude. Mm-hmm. And if I was to look back at my life when I started to experience a 30-day year,
Yeah.
it was all based upon attitude shift.
So what do you think your attitude was back then? Like when you look at that picture, like how did you feel about success or how did you feel about life back then? And then how would you feel about it now?
I think he had a negative mental attitude towards. I think he had a bit of doubt. He had some anger. He was short-tempered. He had convinced himself that working hard was how you're going to get ahead.
You know what I think it was?
Tell
I
me.
think you just didn't feel that good about what you were doing.
He definitely didn't like what he was doing.
See, that's the thing. Like, how can you find success when you don't really like what you're doing?
Yeah, that's true.
And I know you very well. So I know that you have these really incredible gifts and talents. And I don't think that you were in a position that allowed you to express those. And so how can you feel good about that?
Yeah, you
It'd
can't.
be really tough. It would be tough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is hard to maintain a positive mental attitude when you're doing something that you don't really like.
Exactly. So you just didn't probably like what you were doing.
Yeah, maybe that's why a lot of people have a negative mental attitude towards working and positive mental attitude towards their holidays.
Of course. Like going on holiday is lovely. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just for you. It's to enjoy yourself. Like work has this connotation of, well, work. Like it requires a lot of effort. And I think when you find effortless in your work, well, that means I think you found a great attitude around it.
Yeah,
So-
it's like find out what you love to do and then dedicate your life to it if you can.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
having a 30-day year is all based upon your attitude, right? Like
Yeah.
if you've got the idea of having a 30-day year, or if you've got the idea of improving your life in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
well, you already have the idea. So the idea is the same, right? 12x your income, weigh 165 pounds, win a contest. The idea is the same. So the variable is your attitude towards
Yeah.
the actual achievement of it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like we're all human and things happen. And so how do you shift yourself? Like what do you think for yourself personally? Like even in today's life, you get to do work you love now. But there can be like crappy days. Everyone has crappy days. And what do you pull from or draw from to realign yourself?
Well, I think there's a word that comes to my mind. There's two words that come to my mind. The first word is commit, which is to dedicate yourself to something. And then the second word is recommit, which is to commit again, which is kind of interesting. It's like, well, if you committed in the first place, why did you have to recommit?
Yeah.
And the reason is because we're human and we drift off. Mm-hmm. So for me today, I don't like to drift off where I drift off and I'm like, catch myself 3 weeks later, like, oh, shoot, like I drifted off what I was up to before.
Yeah.
I like to recommit every single day. So every single day, I like to set the tone for my attitude. What will my attitude be today? Mm-hmm. And I have a little affirmation that I use in the morning when I wake and also throughout the rest of the day. And it is, I am developing a positive mental attitude in any and all circumstances and situations. Mm-hmm. I will develop generosity, kindness, discipline, focus, imagination, and professionalism, because I know that a negative attitude towards myself, another, or life can never bring me success. And I start my day with that affirmation.
Yeah.
And if I find myself drifting, then I just recall the affirmation.
Yeah.
And I just bring myself back. It's very difficult to do because most negative mental attitudes, most bad attitudes, they're justifiable, right?
For sure. Like when I crushed my Tesla.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
justifiable.
for sure. 100%.
Right? Or like
Because I
your
can't let
kids-
people down. I got to get my kid to this thing. I got to do this thing. Like as we were preparing for this, like just with the team here, we were talking about how we will like do anything to avoid letting somebody down. But we'll push ourselves extra hard. We'll work as hard as we possibly can. We'll take on more things. But it's not seldom, but it's more rare for us to do that just for ourselves personally. It's easier to give up on yourself than it is to let someone down, right?
Yeah, it's like you have like a nightie that you sleep in, and it says, "But first, coffee."
Yeah.
It's like, don't talk to me until I get my coffee,
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, that's a justifiable bad attitude, right? Like, that's what it is. It's like, talk to the fist because the face is pissed,
For sure. I guess.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
So bad attitudes they're generally justifiable. Like, it's because someone did something to you, someone was rude to you, your kid's being a pain in the butt, a coworker's being annoying, it's rainy, you slipped on some ice, whatever. It's infinite reasons. So the problem with bad attitudes, which I call a negative mental attitude, is that they're generally justifiable.
Yeah.
Anger's generally justifiable. Self-pity, which is justified anger, it's justifiable.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you had my life, you'd be this way too. And we have to overcome that.
Yeah.
Because a positive mental attitude, sometimes you have to consciously find what's positive in that circumstance and situation. And it takes effort, it takes mental focus to do it, and it also takes catching yourself when you drift. Gently bring yourself back. I think that developing a positive mental attitude and a calm mental attitude, while still pursuing, a 30-day year, pursuing a better life, pursuing to live a dream, I think that's been one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And it's daily vigilance. Like, I've never, the universe has never given me a day off from not developing a positive mental attitude. Yeah,
that's cool. And I agree with you. Like, I agree, with all the things you're saying and how you've set yourself for the day. That's really powerful. I think you, just as a person in your work every day, you do a lot. Like, I watch you, observe you. You create a lot, you do a lot, you are presenting a lot. Like, I was telling Abby the other day, she was getting into a little tiff about her math homework. Our little girl's
becoming a teenager now, so.
She was in this little tiff about her math homework and getting stressed out about it. And she was like, I got these questions, Mom. I got these questions. I'm like, Abs, you know what? Like, what? Like,
you could be mad too if you had 2 math questions every night.
So anyway, I'm like, Abs, like, it's cool. Like, you'll get it done in the morning. Like, don't worry about it. Did you know?
Can I interrupt you one more time for a second?
Yeah.
I picked Abby up last year.
Yeah.
And she got into the car.
Yeah.
And she was like, I hate you.
Shit.
And I was like, you don't hate me. Yes, I do. I hate you.
She was ticked at you because you were so late picking her up.
I hate you.
Oh, Dave, she's going to be so mad you said this on the podcast. She'll be so upset.
The other day I was singing Bryan Adams, terrible song, like, I'm ready.
But you're also singing it badly.
Oh, yeah, terrible. And she said, shut up, Dad.
I also want to just say, Abby's like the sweetest little person of all time. So for her to say these things,
shut up,
it's rare. But because she is so sweet generally, when she does say those things, it makes it extra funny because you're like, that's not you. And anyway, it's great.
I was out for dinner. We were out for dinner with her yesterday, and I said, Abby, as you start growing older, you'll go through this phase where you think your parents aren't cool.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, we're pretty damn cool.
Right.
So just remember that.
Just trying to sell your kid on your coolness. Yeah. I mean, we can try, Dave. I don't know if we'll achieve it, but we can try.
I think I will.
Okay. Yeah. Keep trying. Yeah. But so back to my story. So the other night, she's upset. She's got this homework to do. And Abby has a lot of high standards. She has high standards for herself. And she wants to do well, and she wants to excel in all the things she does. And so she comes by that honestly. I'm very similar. My nature is very similar to that. And so she's going to sleep, and she dances a lot. So she'll get home late sometimes, and she just doesn't have the energy. She's tired.
That's fair.
And it is fair. She works hard. And so she beats herself up. She's like, oh, I'm not done. I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. I just move. And she just gets into this kind of funk. And so I said to her, I'm like, like your dad runs like 6 hours, sometimes up to 30 hours of like live content in a single week between like mentorship calls or a week, like a freedom event or something where you're like running 3 days straight. The 8-hour days. What is that?
That's 24.
Yeah. So 24 hours plus you would generally run your mentorship calls that same week. So that's 30 hours of content you're delivering. And I never see him get worked up at night. Like he just kind of deals with it. And then I said, Abs, I actually have Uncle SJ coming over tomorrow to record some videos. And you know what? I don't have my scripts done. And I was like, I'm going to have to get up early and make sure my script's done and I have something to say because I've booked someone to come here to record something for me. I need to be ready. And I just I'll deal with it tomorrow. Like I have to, this day's over. We'll just have to deal with it tomorrow. And when I told her that you run up to 30 hours a week of content, that I had a thing tomorrow that I wasn't ready for just yet. And it kind of neutralized her. She just relaxed. She's like, oh, it was like a bit of a perception shift, It's like Abs, like you're always going to have stuff you got to get done. You can't get yourself worked up about it. You just deal with it. You'll get it done. Don't let it make you feel less than that you're not done those questions yet. You might need more help. You might need more time. You will get it done. There's no good that comes from beating yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. And our habits, they're habitual. Like how we wake.
Yeah.
Most people, when they start their day, they're in a neutral state. So they're just kind of they're poised to react to life. And that's, when I looked at the image of myself from over 10 years ago, that's all that was happening to that guy. Like life was just kicking his butt.
Yeah.
That's really all that was happening. And he was just responding to life all the time. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people in the world that are out there trying, but it's their response to life that's really starting to wear on them. Mm-hmm. And it wore on me for a very, very long time till I started to realize this, that, well, what's the most important thing today? Well, it's going to be today. So why don't I set my attitude for today? And I've seen other people. I remember I did a talk out in Toronto, and there's a lady in the crowd that said that she visualizes every morning to start her day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, how long have you been doing that? And she said a few years. And I could tell by the way she was saying it, she was basically like, but it's not working, Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, if you were doing it like properly, and I hate saying it like that, but if you're doing it in a certain way, you would have to be experiencing results from that activity. Yeah. You'd have to be experiencing results from it because the universe operates in cause and effect. So you can't do something and not have a result. And I was like, okay, so once you do it, then what happens throughout your day? So basically she was in the habit of doing this. And then right when she was done doing it, she would just go back to behaving the same old way.
Oh, interesting.
Throughout the rest of the day.
Weird.
So when you set, like when I set my attitude for the day, I'm making this really strange agreement that I'm not allowed to deviate from this state of mind for the rest of the day. Mm. And there's no use in you setting a state of mind, which is an attitude. Your attitude is your state of mind. There's no use in you setting a state of mind of how you want to live and then continuously reneging from that state of mind. Yeah. Like I've been around people that think that responding with anger and force on people is, how to move the needle.
It's like how to have power.
Yeah, power. It's like a power thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people go to negative mental attitudes for power. So if I was to give anyone like a little pointer, it's like number one, if you're going to create a positive mental attitude in the morning and set your state of mind, then the second is you have to keep it.
Yeah. And then what I think too is that win, lose, or draw, if you don't keep it, just let it go.
Yeah, just let it go. Gently bring yourself back. Gently bring yourself back.
To give yourself another chance tomorrow. Like another parenting reference with Lily. Lily can fall into these like attitudes where she like really locks on to her idea. she's like, oh, we have to go to McDonald's for breakfast this morning. Like that has to happen. And I'm like, well, probably not today. Not today, Lil. Like we'll go maybe on the weekend, or maybe we'll go next time we go to the lake or something like that. But we're not going today. Like we got to get you guys to school. Like we have plenty of food here. Like it's not happening. And she'll just go crazy. She'll get so upset. She'll like feel like she's being like forced to live a life that she never chose.
Well, that's justified that attitude.
And so then I just been telling her, I'm like, Lil, just let it go.
Technically, she has been forced to live a life that she hasn't chosen.
Well, that's just it.
I think every kid does.
Right? And so we all, yeah, for sure. And so,
No, not all.
No,
Kids.
I know. Yeah. I was going to correct myself. So, so anyway, I was like, I just been telling her, like, if I find her slip into these little snits, I'm just like, Lils, just let it go. Like, we'll go a different time. Like, don't let it wreck your day. Right?
What do you think is the worst attitude a person can engage in?
I'd say, like, kind of like hate against yourself, like against you, like against, like, I'm not good enough, like self-doubt toward yourself. Because if you have that toward yourself, then you will give that to others. So if there's something eating at you, you got to correct that. You got to, if you've got the awareness and the ability, like you got to reset that. Because if I think about like more parenting examples, if my kids are wrapped up about this math problem that they haven't gotten done and they're beating themselves up, it's like, well, she learned that somewhere. She must have learned that from me. So I've got to correct that in myself so that I can give her something better.
Oh, yeah. I think about my kids, sometimes my kids' behavior, and I'm like,
You mean
I don't
our
know.
kids?
Oh, our kids, yeah. Well, for some reason, all the negative traits are always coming from me, and all the good ones come from me, I guess.
Not all
But I think
of them.
about my kids, I'm like, I don't know where the hell that came from. That's like the devil's work.
Well, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then I'm like, what? Like, I can't take credit for that. Like, some of them for sure. But like sometimes, yeah, I'm like, come on. That's just you needing to grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
Justifiable attitude, I guess. Okay, so I think it just comes down to setting the tone for yourself. Like setting the attitude right from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
And not beating yourself up if things go off the rails.
Yep. Setting your attitude is an imaginative exercise because you use
Yeah.
your imagination to
Yep.
reinvent who you're going to be in that day. And you don't have to, you don't have to do it tomorrow. You just have to do it today. And I would strongly recommend that do yourself a favor. And if you choose, hey, I want to start to take control of my attitude, start in the morning and just do your damnedest to just keep that state of mind throughout the day, regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of what? Regardless of everything.
Right.
Regardless of everything. You go out there, you want to make a sale and you don't make it. I've seen people drop because of that.
Yeah.
I've seen people where they make a sale and that gets them high. We want to find this state of mind that we're always in control, like win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
We are a self-determining and a self-reliant individual. We are not dependent upon the outside world to determine our value or our state of mind. And this is one of the greatest things I've ever worked on in my life.
Yeah. I love it. It's really profound. You said something really cool on a workshop recently that resentment lives in the past and fear lives in the future.
Yeah.
So if we let our bad attitude or a bad day really take hold of us and we keep that with us as opposed to just letting it go, then that's when it turns into this resentment.
Oh, yeah.
And then that just begins to erode us over time.
Yeah.
And so over time, we start collecting these little resentments, these teeny little things, right? They just collect in, an emotional backpack, if that works for a metaphor. So you'd be better off just let it go. Just let it ride off you.
Yeah, doubt is a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Resentment is a bad attitude. Fear is a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Gossip is a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Talking poorly about anything and anyone is a bad attitude.
Attracting conflict.
Yeah, yep. And it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, whoa, wait a sec, I've got a bad attitude.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if anybody's ever told you where, hey, you've got a bad attitude, or if anybody else has ever told someone else they have a bad attitude. And then what happens? They turn that bad attitude on you. And now you're the source of their bad attitude. So it can take a lot of courage to take responsibility. You know what? I was in the wrong. You know what? Right now I am engaging in lower vibration activities or lower vibration conversations.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of courage to break those habits.
But I also think it takes courage to call someone out too.
Yeah, I stopped calling people out because they just turn on me.
And I mean, I don't be like intervention style call out, but I mean like, I mean, different talk show to go into that. But I remember during like an employment review, like this is years ago with my previous boss, and he told me like, you're pretty great. Like you're pretty great at everything you do. And they said, however, there was this like one thing where I think we were in like a stressful moment in the event, and you were a little bit short with someone. He didn't tell me who said it because he would never gossip to save his life. But he said, you just got to watch that. Like if things get stressed, like don't get short. And then
Did you enjoy when he said that to you?
Oh, no. but I'm really grateful that he did because I got a huge lesson from that. Mm-hmm. Because like no matter what's going on in my head, I have no right to treat someone badly because of that. And so I'm really, really grateful for him to say that. Mm. And so ever since then, if there is like dicey situations, it's just like, just stay calm. Just keep it chill. Like just, you don't have to be reactive.
Right.
So yeah. So that's why I think sometimes it is okay to call people out. Like he called me out and it helped me. So some people, it depends on like your nature. I think for you to get called out on, I think you would probably be like, hey, like screw you, man. That might be your nature. But for me, I actually, at first I was like, oh, like I'm bad. But it's like, well, no, I'm not bad. I just have to like change how I operate in those circumstances. So I think there's different reactions based on people's personalities. Not everyone gets their back up. Some people go down. The problem is if they stay down, they can come back up again, right?
Yeah.
But one last thing before we kind of wrap this conversation up, I think there's a huge wellness piece to talk about when it comes to attitude. Like, I know, like, I like what you're saying, like set the mind in the morning, but I think taking the time to, whether it's like go for a walk, like move your body a little bit, like, ease yourself into your day. Don't just jump into work. Like if you can give yourself an hour, 2 hours would be incredible, but at least an hour in the morning for yourself before the world comes in, it does so much good for you. It does. It helps you set your attitude, whether you do that through prayer or meditation or some other type of maybe more mindset practice. But I've been finding just movement in the morning to be so powerful to set my attitude for the day.
It does help a lot.
It does. And, it can be gentle. It doesn't have to be hardcore. It depends on what you like to do, I guess. But
I don't know about that. But.
Exactly. See, different people. But I think, movement and wellness is really important. And I don't want to put the label of like self-care on it. It is a form of self-care. But it's it's deeper than that. It's like a tone setter. I would say it's just
intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional.
Yeah.
It's like
giving yourself a leg up on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Get an edge on yourself every day.
I find that does just a world of good for me.
Yeah, 100%.
So, any last thoughts on attitude?
Attitude's everything. Yeah. And if you don't determine your own attitude, then the world probably will determine it for you. And the world's a pretty chaotic place, so you got to make sure that the outside world stays on the outside where it belongs and you become a self-reliant and a self-determining person. And then that way you can start to steer your own ship and create your own life.
Thanks for listening to the 30-Day Year podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And right beneath is a free download, How to Set Your 30-Day Year Goal. We really encourage you to take some time to download it and fill in the blanks and get your own goal on paper. See you next time.
Produced at
Sound Lounge by T-Bone.